Good morning, dear friends. Today, I'd like to share about how to be non-violent in our dealings. When I was studying in Rome, I read a book written by a great moral theologian called Bernard Hearing, The Healing Power of Peace and Non-Violence. In his book, he mainly deals with the approach of Mahatma Gandhi from India in fighting for the freedom of the country. And he brings all the non violent methods proposed by Jesus in Beatitudes. And when we look into our lives, how often we tend to be violent, either verbally, non verbally, or through our actions. Sometimes we never realize how violent we turn to be, especially when our personal space is taken. I had experienced this when I was in a different parish. This um, lady who came to sit in a particular pew and she was sitting and praying there. Someone else came and challenged her. How can you sit in my pew? That lady was so scared, she just ran out of the church. Such things can happen. Even you might have done that to someone that when you felt that your personal space is um, taken by somebody else or somebody infringed in your space or in your personal freedom, you start defending yourself as a natural instinct, but sometimes that self defense can turn to be really violent, which is not really good for us spiritually. Of course, during the time of tribalism, people aggressively defended when their personal resources are infringed or threatened. They need to protect them, so they aggressively fought against it. Whenever fear overcomes you, you become self defensive and a particular part of your brain react in order to protect and defend yourself. Nothing wrong with that. That is a common natural human instinct. But as we have grown and our brain has developed well, we don't need to be responding to such situations in a violent way. Sometimes our verbal damaging of others through words could really discourage and damage the emotions and feelings of people severely. Some of us use a language. Let us send all these people out of the country. They are not serving the good purpose of our country. Let us get rid of them. Or give what he or she deserves. We use some very hard language, violent language that can really wound people very deeply. There is also another method, silence, enforced or imposed. Silence can break relationships. You don't even offer an opportunity to have a possibility of dialogue and reconciliation in broken relationships through your silence. Even silence can become a non violent weapon. You understand? That is why Mahatma Gandhi, who was inspired by the method of beatitude, the non-violent way of living human life, really impressed him and took him to the level of receiving independence for a whole nation through non-violent method. Even Martin Luther King Jr. said, "You have to be non-violent, not only in your physical expressions, even in your spirit. You have to be non-violent." And he gave a beautiful example. You not only refuse to shoot a person, but also you refuse to hate a person. What a beautiful way of putting it. We can never be violent in our thinking. It all begins with our thinking, and it leads to harsh and violent words against others, or like name calling, or hating people, or using strong languages about certain people or people you don't like. And so it starts with thinking and moves to strong verbal abuse and finally may slide into a violent action. Let us control non-violent approach in thoughts, in words, and action means you are open to people. Your heart is open to good and peaceful relationships. And that is what the life Jesus shows us on the cross. He non violently, with great love, surrendered his life for us. That alone won us the true freedom from all the power of Satan and brought us salvation. Let us look into how our words, our deeds, our thoughts are being non violent or not. Thank you and have a good day.